Ovarian cancer is one of those diseases that a lot of people don't talk about, and there's actually no screening test. So it's really important that we spread our message. And when my sister was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, we heard that the color teal represented ovarian cancer, like pink for breast cancer. So we realized that there were a lot of needs that she was looking for. She needed support. She hadn't known the signs and symptoms, and we learned that there was no medical screening test. So we took the color teal and played around with the name, and she came up with Tell Every Amazing Lady. And when we had that name, it just stuck. There's much more of a story where we did start an event, and we weren't sure if it was going to need to be a whole foundation, but we realized that the community really needed what we also needed too. There was all these families were coming out to us saying, finally, there's something for ovarian cancer. And finally, there's this event we can go to. And we started our first event in Brooklyn, New York, and it's really expanded since then. Well, immediately when Louisa was diagnosed, my sister Louisa was diagnosed, she and I both were like, what? You go to everybody was like, you go to the doctor. She got her mammogram. She's had colonoscopy. She did all the things she was supposed to do. And still, at 41 years old, there was shock and outrage, of course, and all the emotions that go along with any family member getting cancer. But immediately we became advocates overnight. I think we just became on the same page. Like, we have to tell people about this. How could this happen to you? It could happen to anybody. And it was so important to her to make sure that this wasn't just about her. She wanted other women to know that this could happen to them. And, she had a job, she had kids, she had family, she had a full life. And, this wound up becoming one of the priorities along with her family and everything else that she was doing. And literally to her dying day in her hospital bed, this was very important to her. She wanted other women to know about this. She wanted to save other women's lives. And if it could happen to her, it could happen to anyone. So we're known for the T.E.A.L Walk, and the T.E.A.L Walk is a program for us that happens in many different states across the country. And each of them are really special. Each of them have their own community of people and really families and survivors that come together and can share this experience at least once a year and know that they're not alone. So it's so important to have that sense of community that we've created in what we call the T.E.A.L community. So in Savannah, we're in our 7th year, and for 7 years, these families and community members have been getting to know each other and realize that they are not alone, and that community has grown and grown. So it's so important not only for them to come together for that day, to walk virtually. They could be on their treadmill, they could walk in a park, whatever makes sense to them, and take pictures and really feel that connection on social media that we're all in it together. But also our programs need them as well, as much as, we need each other. So funding for us has been cut. This is a partial fundraiser. It's an awareness event and a fundraiser. So much of because of the pandemic, our programs have been reduced or cut because of funding needs that have, changed. Everything is up in the air for everybody across the country. But this is part fundraiser, part awareness event. True and true for 7 years. We raise survivors up. We want them to know that we're here. We're all there in it together, fighting with them and beside them. And for those who've experienced loss too, it's really important that we all come together and know that we're a community. For about the last 12 years, we've been in over 9 different cities and states across the country. We are in our 7th year in Savannah, Georgia. We're in about our 7th year in Litchfield, Connecticut. It's our 12th year in Brooklyn, New York, and we've also had walks and runs in Ohio and Whitesboro, New York, and Pennsylvania. It's just mostly down the East Coast, but we've also participated in things like the LA Marathon and the New York City Marathon. So we really do a lot of events across the country, no matter where you live. And right now, especially, they can be virtual, so it doesn't matter where you are. Especially when we're in person, there's such an experience of togetherness that we can have in person, and we're really trying to capture that element this year virtually. We've got, for those who are registered participants in the events, they have these special like goodies that they're getting emailed to them. So there's a private link that you can have that is going to be our virtual kickoff, and we're all kicking off together wherever that might be, on your phone, on your computer, in a park, on a treadmill. People are being sent their t-shirts and things that they can wear for the event, so we all can have some of that swag and feel like we're all wearing the same things. And then of course for social media and places that we've advised them to upload their pictures, we want everyone to see each other, that they're participating together. So that togetherness is so, so important. And we've, tried to find ways that we can capture that on Saturday.
And so for Saturday, I guess ahead of time, what's the best way for people to actually like register to participate?
Sure. If you go to tealwalk.org/Savannah, TEALWALK.org/Savannah. You can still sign up, and we are doing a kickoff at 10 a.m. So try to register before Saturday and before 10 a.m. so that you can participate with everybody during that special kickoff.